Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back to Times Square. It's That Kevin Show, thatkevinshow.com, That Kevin Show on all social, thatkevinshow@gmail.com if you want to drop me a note. I always enjoy when friends stop by, and while we're breaking down the headlines and giving you kind of the perspective on what's going on, my next guest is someone who not only has strong opinions about that, but is also a very biblically centric, which is a very good word in very rough times, a teacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, a preacher of the Word of God, and pastor of the First Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Robert Jeffress, it is great to see you again. Welcome back.
Great to see you, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
You were just with the president last week, and I know that when he was in office the first go around, he would somewhat frequently talk to you about different things. I don't want to know any of the confidences of any of that, but what was your kind of feeling as to how the president is feeling about his second term? He's been very busy. I don't think he's getting any sleep, but what was your takeaway?
Well, the context, Kevin, was about 15 of us were at the White House for a listening session where the administration listened to our concerns and what we would like to see accomplished in the faith area for the next 4 years. And it was very encouraging to hear what the president already had planned. And he knew we were there and invited us over from the executive office building over to the West Wing to visit with him in the Oval Office. And we just had a great visit together. He showed me the new ball cap he had. It was a red cap with the lettering. Everything Trump said was true. And, I said, what do you have to do to get one of those, Mr. President? And he gave me one, which was very gracious. But we talked about a few things, and then we had a time to pray. And I always think it's interesting that the president, with everything he has to do, would take 30 minutes out to spend with us and would have us pray. And I was asked to say a few words for the group before I led off in the prayer. And Kevin, I thank the president for two things on behalf of all of us. First of all, for the courage he has to push back against these leftist judges who are trying to prevent him from performing not just his constitutional mandate, but his biblical mandate to protect citizens from evildoers. Mm-hmm. And then I thanked him for what he's doing to make faith central in America again. You know, I pointed out that his predecessors, Barack Obama and Joe Biden, weren't just indifferent toward Christianity. They hated conservative Christianity and those who adhered to it. And I said, I think one of the great ironies of history is going to be that it took a secular real estate tycoon from New York City to put faith in its proper perspective in American life.
Well, you know this very well, Dr. Jeffress, because you've spent a lot of time here. In fact, when we met, we were both doing the strategy room with Harris Faulkner long before she was doing Outnumbered on the actual TV channel. But you know that the Christian community in New York, though it is not well known outside the city, it is numerous. 8,000 churches here, and people that pray and seek God. And what's interesting about this last election with that tycoon that you were just talking about is that even in places like Manhattan, he got more votes, and there were more people of faith that came to his side. In every county, he had an increase of votes in every county across the entire country, but even in places like secular Manhattan. So I'm hopeful that with what the country has been through, that there is a degree of, I don't know, revival might not be the right word, but that there's an awakening of sorts that kind of precedes a revival, that people are saying, I want to know more about why people believe this. One of the questions we're asking on my daily radio show here in New York is how do we live? How do we live in a culture where the culture hates God, detests his word, and is very suspicious of people like you and me that claim that that word is authoritative and that God is real? And it's been fun to have shepherds from the New York area join us and to kind of unpack some real basic biblical truths about that. One of the things that I always look forward to is that you're constantly writing. You're a voracious writer. And you've got a brand new book that is just out. We're going to take a break in just a second to pay some bills. But get into this Jesus Revealed in the End Times, your newest.
Well, last year, after Hamas invaded Israel, a lot of people were wondering, is this the end, the beginning of the end? And so I wrote very quickly a book that became very popular, Are We Living in the End Times? Mm-hmm. Instead of looking at the events of Bible prophecy, the rapture, the tribulation, the second coming, I look at how Jesus is revealed in the end times, because in the end, it's not about events. The end times are about the unveiling of a person.
Stick around for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.